Shalom, peace, face the east towards Jerusalem, or should I say Rosh Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh, Vashem Yoshai, Vashem Rucha Qadash. That's Hebrew for all praise Yahweh in the name of Yahushai, in the name of Holy Spirit. Give the honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, as well as honor to the men under the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. This is Elder Arama, Apostle Arama's channel, one of his channels. Well, it's the only one I'm aware of at the moment on YouTube. GMSInfoDoc channel 12. It's titled Vocab is Losing It. Vocab went to London to try to talk to GMS London brothers. It's desperate, down bad activity for Vocab. See, Apostle GMS, he shared something that brothers can use in the ministry when Vocab and his sort of company come up. Just tell them you're disrupting our worship service, and you can call the police on them, and the police will escort them off where you're doing, escort them away from where you're, doing your worship service. Vocab, being aware of this, is now going to other countries to disrupt the preaching, the worship service of brothers in other countries. Down bad guy. Anti-Hamashiach like there's no tomorrow. Proverbs 14:7. Go from the presence of a foolish man, without perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. Vocab is a foolish man, he is a silly man. Concerning the unknowledge and understanding the scriptures, with the words he said, he's shown that he doesn't know what the scriptures talk about, but he's persistent and he's a liar. He's a persistent liar. Doesn't matter how many times you tell him, you go into the Gentiles, the mystery of Gentiles, it's talking about Israelites scattered among the foreign nations, that many of those Israelites discontinued from the heritage of Israel. You don't care. He universalizes something exclusive, something that's only for the Israelites, and even more so the elect on this side. He makes it for everyone. Like, it's always the same thing with these plantation Christians and these anti-Christians that say they believe in the Bible. Universalize something that's exclusive, get the characteristics of the Heavenly Father, His Son, and a bunch of other stuff wrong. Go against the prophecies in the Bible, for example, salvation. The Bible only talks about the only nation that gets saved, from the Messiah, and by the Messiah and all that, Israelites. Literally. It talks about the gathering of the Israelites, where so to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, particularly here it is. Let me just get this. For example, Matthew 24, where it talks about the glorious return of the Messiah. Matthew chapter 24, glorious return. Matthew 24:29-31. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. His elect are the chosen Israelites that the Father gave him. In John 17, he prays for these Israelites to the Father. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou gavest me. It's literally, I've gone into these sort of Bible verses before. Well, I'll just play a bit of this video. Maybe I'll bring up a few more scriptures. Oh, and another thing, guys, I'll leave the link to this video Apostle Ramla uploaded in the description box. I don't want to solo with them.
Alright, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barak Dehawo, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Chakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Vocab is Losing. Just got a call from the elder Pastor probably about 20 minutes ago or so, and he was telling me that on Abu Kamar's page, as you see here, which I link in the description box in case any brothers want to go there have some fun. I'm not sure what camp this is, but this is in England, and Vocab rolled up on these brothers out there in England, and they're telling them, they ain't, because it's a waste of time debating with these so-called Christians, because they're going to come with the same shit. And he said if you disrupt, their assembly, their religious assembly, that they're going to call the cops. No?
Yeah, that's in America, but the thing is, these brothers are in the UK, so the laws are a little different. No.
I want you to hear what I want you to hear what this devil Vocab said. So I just want to play. I'm going to play it off my phone because I can't find the spot on here exactly where it was said, but. They told him that they were going to call the cops on him pretty much because he's disrupting their religious, union or gathering. So just listen up, and then it's just a precept that came to mind. I want to touch on that, and then it'll probably be something short, So listen up.
Okay, let me slow it down. Pardon me. I put it on 1.5 speed. Let me get it back to normal.
It's now under orders to put the police on you. That's what we're doing. Because you disrupted our setup. Because you're following the UK police already. Yeah, why not? Why not? They're doing a job with us. Why not? Why not?
You think the Apostle Paul will call the Roman guards to protect him from the Pharisees?
I mean, Paul literally used his Roman citizenship to help himself out. When he appealed, let me just get it in Acts. Yeah, Paul's Roman citizenship helped him out. Here it is. For example, Paul's defense before the Jews in Acts chapter 22. Let me just get this. I've done an Acts 22 breakdown on this channel. I've done the whole of Acts. Let me just say, Okay, Acts chapter 22 verses 24 through 30. The chief captain commanded him to be brought into the castle, and bade that he should be examined by scourging, that he might know wherefore they cried so against him. And as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, Is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman, and uncondemned? When the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, Take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman. Then the chief captain came and said unto him, Tell me, art thou a Roman? He said, Yea. And the chief captain answered, With a great sum obtained I this freedom. And Paul said, But I was freeborn. Then straightway they departed from him, which should have examined him. And the chief captain also was afraid, after he knew that he was a Roman, because he had bound him on the morrow, because he would have known the certainty wherefore he was accused of the Jews. He loosed him from his bands, and commanded the chief priests and all their council to appear, and brought Paul down and set him before them. Try and look for the Bible verse where it talks about Paul appealing to someone higher up in the Roman government. Appeal unto Caesar, the water. There it is, Acts 25. Paul before Festus. I'll read verse 1. Now when Festus was come into the province, after 3 days he ascended from Caesarea to Jerusalem. Verse 2. Then the high priest and the chief of the Jews informed him against Paul and besought him, Verse 3, and desired favor against him, that he would send for him to Jerusalem, laying in the way to kill him. Verse 4, but Festus answered that Paul should be kept at Caesarea, and that he himself would depart shortly thither. Verse 5, let them therefore, said he, which among you are able, go down with me, and accuse this man, if there be any wickedness in him. Verse 6, and when he had tarried among them more than 10 days, he went down unto Caesarea, and the next day sitting on the judgment seat commanded Paul to be brought. Verse 7, and when he was come, the Jews which came down from Jerusalem stood round about, and laid many and grievous complaints against Paul, which they could not prove. Verse 8, while he answered for himself, neither against the law of the Jews, neither against the temple, nor yet against Caesar, have I offended anything at all. Verse 9, but Festus, willing to do the Jews a pleasure, answered Paul, and said, wilt thou go to Jerusalem, and there be judged of these things before me? Verse 10, then said I, Paul, I stand at Caesar's judgment seat, where I ought to be judged. To the Jews have I done no wrong, as thou very well knowest. Verse 11, for if I be an offender, or have committed anything worthy of death, I refuse not to die. But if there be none of these things whereof these accuse me, no man may deliver me unto them. I appeal unto Caesar. So yeah, in Acts 22, Paul's Roman citizenship helped him out, and in Acts 25 he appeals to Caesar. He appealed to Caesar because he knew that the wicked Jews sought to murder him. They bore false witness against him, and they sought to murder him. And then in Acts 26, when he has his defense before Agrippa, as he's bound in chains, Paul's bound in chains, giving his defense before Agrippa.
That's what he said. That's what Vocab said. But here it is. This is this intellectual, Bible thumping theological guru with all these certificates. And he said, do you think the Apostle Paul would call the Roman centurions to protect them? Or something along those lines, right? Well, let's see what the scriptures say. Acts 23 and 16. And when Paul's sister's son heard of their lying in wait, this was the vagabond Jews that were lying in wait, they made a vow they were going to kill the Apostle Paul, and they would not eat until the Apostle Paul was put to death. So the Apostle Paul's nephew heard this, told his sister, and then he went to the Apostle Paul and told the Apostle Paul what was going on. It says he went and entered into the castle and told Paul. So he let Paul know about the intricate plot, right? Then Paul called one of the centurions unto him. The what? He called the who? Hold up. It said he called one of the centurions unto him and said, bring this young man unto the chief captain, for he had a certain thing to tell him. Right? So what did the Apostle Paul do? He went and told the centurion to bring this matter before the captain. All right? Now check this out, the chief captain. I'm gonna let you hear this again.
Sorry, some spot. Yeah, why not? Why not? They're doing a job with me. Why not? Why not?
Paul did use the Roman government and units, like those who had charge over 100 units, centurions, to defend himself against Jews who sought to murder him. So, and the prophet, the apostle here is showing it. Just read like Acts 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. But Vocab is going against the scriptures.
I think the Apostle Paul would call the Roman guards to protect them from the Pharisees. Well, what did we read here? It says, Acts 23:17, then Paul called one of the centurions unto him and said, bring this young man unto the chief captain, for he had a certain thing to tell him. So he took him and brought him to...
I'm just going to leave it there. Again, leave the link to Apostle Roman's video in the description box. Shalom.